for when you meet new people, when you connect with people, when you have those first conversations with them, if you're thinking in your head like, oh, you better become my client because you're starting for money and you need clients, well then you're gonna stunt that relationship. It's just like in dating, if you get really, really needy, they're like, oh, if they start running, right?
Yeah.
It's like you appear needy. And that means that your interest is in yourself. It's more self focused than it is others focused. And so when you become others focused, you become open, you become curious, you become humanly connective and receptive. Suddenly, you can have a real emergence from that real conversation. And if you can let go of the attachment to what that is and focus on the person in front of you, that is something that will lead to collaborations. Like me and Faisal were talking about how CMC formed. That's something that happened. Like we were just open to whatever could happen. He invited me to a thing and we started talking and the next thing you know, we're leading this mastermind of stuff. And then the next thing you know, that evolved into something else, and then that involved something else, and then became a business, and then all this stuff, right? And now we're still working together on it. And and other conversations I've had, I ended up hiring a coach, or I ended up getting a client to hire me, right? And so like it just depends. And other times it's about something else. Somebody my wife needs to talk to, right? Somebody that can help me with something else in my neighborhood, or whatever the case is. If you allow for that, I'm gonna call it providential emergence to happen. Like just like allow that the synergy to be found wherever it's to be found, and be open to that. You'll probably find you get a lot more clients and collaborators long term. And it feels much better. It feels like you don't have to be tense up about all the time about like all the making the money. And the other people doesn't have to feel the neediness. And then also the other thing that happens is people like connecting with you more, and they like connecting you with other people because of that energy. And so as you do that, you're gonna find that people gravitate towards you and other people don't, and that's totally normal. So if you become the kind of person who just does a great job of reaching out and connecting and following up and seeking out whatever emerges, then you have the option to also, as we talk in CNC, to lead people through the sales process who are the right people for your coaching clientele. If you meet the people who need your help and who have those support needs, then you can lead them to the next step of the process, which is a different element of the skill set of connecting, right? If somebody is in front of you and they see it and you see a support need, you can ask them, would you like support with that? Because that's something that is emerging naturally in the conversation. Of course, you're always scanning the conversation for what are they telling me, and how can I add value, and how can this could we collaborate? What's the opportunity here, right? What's the overlap and mutual exchange of value? That's part of every natural conversation, even with your parents, even with your family. It's like, how can this conversation go well, right? How can I help make this conversation great? So like that's part of the process, and I love that. That's our philosophy at CMC, which is like make these conversations human and relational, and you never know where that leads, and it will also lead to clients.
Yeah. And well, one of the things that I always hear from coaches that come in, especially those who have done a little bit of sales, coaches who haven't actually offered anything out in the marketplace, they're too scared and to offer anything, to put themselves out there usually because they have this attachment to if I talk to them, what happens if they think some way of me or they reject? They have this rejection fear behind it. Or what would happen if I fall flat, which you will generally. Like they have these weird beliefs and thoughts, and we all have them. And I had them in the beginning. But then coaches who have put themselves out there, they also have this weird attachment. And I literally got a couple of messages today from some of our members where it's like, I hope this turns into a strategy session. I hope this turns into a client. I'm like, don't go with that energy. You're gonna, it's like that will not serve them or serve you because you don't know where they are. And this is why we do this take them through this exploratory process to figure out whether we can serve them or not, and if we can serve them. And if we can, then that makes the conviction all the more higher because now you can say, hey, you know what? It sounds like this is going to serve you a lot. How can we make this happen? And when that happens, it naturally goes towards working together. There's a value exchange that happens. But most of the time in the sales world, because it's simpler to teach, to be like, no, 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 you need to push them after the 30-minute call towards this. You need to make sure they make that. This
You
sounds
need to
more
make an offer
easy.
right on the discovery call, and don't let them leave until you have an
Yeah.
answer. You know,
It sounds more tangible, but it's
yeah,
counterintuitive when
yeah,
and it's harder to teach a value system and an identity behind and a vision of having a like this stuff is too complex than saying no, 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 you need to make sure you close on this call. Of course, we have the specifics in our sales process, but there's a value system, there's a philosophy behind it
yeah,
that if you don't have it, you're all and coaches struggle with this all the time. They do their 30-minute, 1 hour calls and they've done like 50 plus of them, nothing has happened or it hasn't gone for, or they cannot sell a higher ticket program. Usually because they're not looking at the value behind the whole conversation system. They're too attached to getting a client. They're too attached to moving this in a box this relationship into a certain
it's
direction.
almost like they're in the matrix, right? It's like you're in the matrix of this cycle. You have to like eventually get out of the matrix and look at it for what it is. These are human connections and relationships that you're building and that you're connecting with and seeing where there's value overlap, where there's
Yeah.
values overlap, and where there's potential overlap and opportunity overlap and mutual benefit. And oftentimes you'll find that when you start doing that, you'll notice the clients, but you won't need to put pressure on them because you have, if you're doing this on a regular basis, connecting with people and doing those follow-ups, you will feel and you will know that you're constantly meeting people. Like, where am I going to find clients? There are people everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Go watch that Seinfeld episode. Remind me of that every time. There are people everywhere. There are close to 8 billion people on Earth now. You shouldn't run out of people. But you're not attracting the right people because you're approaching it and not the right way. And
You could actually
if
be
you
repelling the right people.
yeah, and that's literally one of my messages to one of our members because I listened to her story and I was like, "Ah, it might be your story, the way you're sharing it. You're not gonna like what I have to say, but I think this will serve you." So I have a call with one of our members, but it's the way she's sharing the story that shows some of the values, some of the things. And I'm not saying that there's a problem with her story. There's a problem in the way that she's communicating the values that she's showing, and it's attracting certain kind of people, and it's repelling certain kind of people that she needs. But if you're looking for a community of coaches who are serving people at the level of mindset, transformation, performance, if those kind of things are or emotions or
And
relationship
coaching skills
or
too, and sales
parenting,
skills.
yeah, within and a community of coaches who are actively working to build their business, a sustainable business that builds their lifestyle but also serves others at the highest level possible, then definitely join our free community because it's going to serve you a lot if you feel aligned with our message, our community, our philosophy, values. This will be the if you don't feel aligned with it, that's fine. But if you do, definitely join our free community at cmc.coach. That's what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you go
cmc.coach.
to cmc.co if you go to cmc.coach, you'll be able right now you can get on, it'll forward you to our free Facebook group and you can join our community and participate. And you'll see in there you can, post and you can watch what's going on and learn. We have tons of free stuff going in there all the time. And then if you want to join our community for some of our paid sessions, then absolutely you can reach out to us and we will respond to that. Or you can watch for our events. We sometimes have public facing events too that you can go to. And we also have our podcast every week. So you can hear more on how to build your coaching business, or in today's case, how to build collaborations.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely share this if you know a friend, a coach who needs to hear this message and share your thoughts and insight with us. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, awesome. Thanks again. Have a great week.
Take care. Bye.